So you're thinking about moving to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and more specifically, towns like Charlottesville, Virginia. Well, in this video, I'm going to take you on a map tour of Charlottesville, and I'm going to share with you some of the areas of Charlottesville, as well as some of its neighborhoods, so you get an idea a little bit more of where things are in Charlottesville. And if you hang around till the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some census information and a current market report very specific to just Charlottesville, which will help you learn much more about Charlottesville and the housing market here. And you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And we're going to get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Virginia, from its beautiful mountains to its valleys, then click on that subscribe button and touch that bell so you can be the first to be notified about all the current market information in Virginia, from its mountains to its valleys. Hi, my name's Stephen Gleason, along with my wife and partner Leslie, and we get phone calls and emails every day from folks just like you who are looking to make a move to Virginia, and we absolutely love helping those people. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. The information's all in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you make your move to Virginia as smooth as possible. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today I'm going to take you on a map tour of Charlottesville, Virginia. So with that being said, a couple things about Charlottesville, Virginia. First of all, it's not a very large city. As far as square miles goes, just over 10 square miles. However, the area around Charlottesville is a very historical area. As a matter of fact, our third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, lived just south of Charlottesville on his beautiful hilltop, where his home was called Monticello. We look at James Monroe, who was a friend of Jefferson's and the fifth president of the United States, who lived in a place called the Highlands in his home, and just southeast of Jefferson. If you go about 35 minutes north, you get James Madison, our fourth president of the United States, living at Montpelier. So the area of Charlottesville is just chocked full of historical information to begin with. But as I said, we're going to look at some of these things on the map. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here with you, and let's talk a little bit about Charlottesville. So in Charlottesville, you're going to see that the basic area of Charlottesville, you can see the outline that's here around the city of Charlottesville. You see there's some ins and outs of it, but most of it lies all above the Interstate 64, and most of it lies within I guess you would call that a triangle, a funny shaped triangle, between the Highway 250, the bypass that goes through town, and the interstate on the north and on the south. So as far as the actual roads of transportation go in Charlottesville, the main roads of transportation, I've kind of already brought them out, is Interstate 64, which goes from east to west and all the way down to Virginia Beach. And then Highway 29 is the north-south corridor, which cuts right through Charlottesville, and you can see it cuts right through the University of Virginia. So most of the time, if you're traveling from north to south, you're going to want to take the bypass, the 250/29 bypass, which goes around Charlottesville. It's going to get you from north side to south side very quickly. If you are going around the north side of the town, you're going to want to take the rest of that 250 bypass, which kind of, as you see, cuts through the northern part of town and out to the interstate. Especially if you're coming from the north, it's much quicker to come down Highway 29, hit the bypass, and go to Interstate 64 to head east than it is to come all the way down to Interstate 64 there. One of the locations I want to talk to you about, if you look at my other video that I did here, a vlog video on Charlottesville, want to take you into several of the neighborhoods that we looked at. And here in the Greenbrier area, the northern part of Charlottesville, the homes in this area went anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 was the average price of a home in this area. Another area that we looked at was the Barracks Rugby area, and this is the Barracks Rugby area of town. And the homes in this neighborhood went anywhere. There was actually a large difference in pricing. Some of them were on the lower end, about $400,000, and then up to over I would say almost $3 million in pricing. So a big discrepancy there, not a discrepancy, but a variance within that area. And its partner along with that, I guess you could say, right down here, just north of the University of Virginia, is the Venable area, and the homes there were very similar priced to the Barracks Rugby area. As a matter of fact, the average price of a house was over $1 million in this area. And finally, the last neighborhood that we were in was the Fontana neighborhood. We found a lot of new constructions homes here, and we found that there were townhouses in this area for about $400,000, and that ranged all the way up to $1 million plus on the homes there, all the way up to about $1.4 million. So those were the three areas that we looked at in the Charlottesville area. So you can kind of get an idea of where they are in relation to some of the roads and some of the roads that you might take and you might travel on if you were to be in that area. So, of course, one of the other things about Charlottesville is that we have the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, which is a very well-known college. It has a lot of great academic success and a lot of great programs there. As a matter of fact, let me just show you here real quick some information about the University of Charlottesville. University of Charlottesville, one of the big things to look at here, look at this, number 3 in top public schools. This is out of 443 national universities, about half and half public and private. And in public schools, it was ranked as the number 3rd by U.S. News and World Report. Overall, you see it's 25th amongst all national universities. It's a great college if you're a veteran. Have a lot of things there, programs for veterans. It also has a great value. If you look down here at the bottom, if you're in state, it has a great value. You got about $21,000 was the tuition for this year, 2022, 2023. Out of state's going to cost you a little bit more, but like I say, great value for in-state tuition. You can see some of the other programs there as well, and how the University of Virginia ranks. And so a great, really a good college here in UVA is. Another great thing about Charlottesville is the amount of parks, community and parks that it has. You can see 12, these are community and regional parks, not to even to mention the neighborhood parks, 12 parks and 13 trails. And wow, what a great opportunity to avail yourself of. I want to show you some of the many trails, and many of them join together here on one of the websites. Basically, there's a trail that goes all the way around Charlottesville, and you can see that trail here. And the neat thing about this is this map is interactive. And for example, if you click over here, you click on there, you find out this is the Ivy Railroad detour. You can't go over the railroad there, and so you got to have to detour around. Come over here, up here in the Greenbrier neighborhood, which is where we here's Greenbrier Park right here we talked about, and the park goes through Greenbrier Park. And here, let's click on, see what this red area is over here in the Locust Grove area. It looks like you're going to walk alongside the road for a little bit here. So just a really neat map, and you can see it goes all the way around Charlottesville. And if we zoom out even a little bit more, you can see it even goes further north up through the Rio areas as well. And just a really neat system of trails. And those trails are good for biking. They're good for jogging, walking. So what a great way to get exercise. You walk all the way around Charlottesville, the city. So really neat way to see the different parts of the town as well. So if we go back here and we look at specifically where some of these parks are, they're just, I'm not going to call them all out, but just a few of them that are kind of nice are the Darden Tow Park. The Darden Tow Park here, it is very dog friendly. There's actually a kayak and canoe launch right there in the Ravenna River, which is the river that runs through the eastern side of Charlottesville here. Penn Park's where you're going to find Meadow Creek Golf Course. You're going to find a lot of picnic areas there as well. And again, just a really nice park. And I already mentioned here the Greenbrier Park is it's a smaller park, whereas Garden Toe is about 100 acres and Penn Park is about 280 acres. The Greenbrier Park here is smaller, but it has the trails that run through it. Basically, it's a nature trail park is what it is. Of course, you can see there's other parks here in the Charlottesville area, and there's plenty of opportunities for you to take advantage of outdoor recreation through the park system. Of course, if you're looking for other trails, you can go about 30 to 45 minutes to the west. You can hit the Appalachian Trail and you can hike all the way from Maine all the way down to Georgia. So if that's what you're looking for, Charlottesville is a great starting point there as well. Of course, if you watch some of my other videos, you know that I'm a golfer, and I like to point out the golf courses here. And I already mentioned Penn Park is where Meadow Creek Golf Course is. It's a municipal course open to the public, and nice course here in town. There's Birdwood Golf Course, which is redesigned by Davis Love. It is where the University of Virginia it's their home course. They practice there and play their matches there. Very upscale, nice course there as well. Farmington Country Club, very elite, very private to get into the Farmington Country Club here and play. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more because there are some other there are some other golf courses that are just a little bit out of the area here. And one of them is in Crozet. And Crozet is about a half an hour, probably 20 minutes, probably to the west of Charlottesville, if that. And there's Old Trail Golf Course there, Old Trail Golf Club there, and really, really nice club. Then there's a Pete Dye course here in Zion Crossroads area called Spring Creek. And matter of fact, it made Golf Digest top 100 courses you can play. It's been in and out of the top 100, and it made it back in again last year. And I'll break down the golf courses a little bit more in my pros and cons video because that's one of the things about Charlottesville. So you can take a look at that video right here, and you can look at that pros and cons video as well. The other thing, the other course is here in the Keswick area, and this is Fry's Cry, and it is a resort / private type course where you can get lodging. You can stay there at the resort, but another very well kept and very nice course as well. And of course, I always like to talk about skiing as well, since we have a couple ski resorts within an hour of the area. The first one of those is Wintergreen Resort down here just west of Nellysford, and the other one is in Massanutten here. Both of these are 4-season resorts, meaning you can use them during all 4 seasons. Of course, there's the skiing in the wintertime. Each one of them has 2 golf courses. Massanutten has its own indoor water slide, so really very friendly to the family. And each one is about an hour. Massanutten a little bit farther, about an hour and 10 minutes away from downtown Charlottesville. So if you're a skier, you're just not very far at all from the mountain slopes, and you can ski till your heart's content. One of the other things that I want to talk about is the food and shopping in Charlottesville. So as we go back down into the city of Charlottesville here, let's get zoomed back in there. You'll see some different areas of the town here, and I'll just call these out. First of all, you have the downtown mall right here in Charlottesville, and the downtown mall, you saw a picture of the downtown mall or video, part of it in my vlog video that I did, and it's about 8 blocks long. It's over 120 shops and 30 restaurants, specialty type shops. Really, really neat place to go and spend. You can spend an entire day down there and have no problem. But really neat, right in the heart of the downtown. The other area is right along Highway 29 here, just north of Charlottesville. It extends into the Commonwealth area, and the airport just a few minutes north of there as well. But here you're going to find things like a Whole Foods. You're going to find a Trader Joe's, LL Bean. As a matter of fact, there's in that area, there's the shops at Stonefield is where the Trader Joe's and the LL Bean are. There's the Seminole Trail is the road that Highway 29 is also called, and Seminole Square sits on Seminole Trail. There's also there is a mall, Fashion Square Mall, and like many malls in the United States, there's not much left there. You'll find a Belk and Red Robin hamburgers and some other shops, but that is there as well. Another area in town is the Pantops area. And along this area, you're going to find some car dealerships. You find some car dealerships up in here too. But you're going to find a giant food store here, and you're going to find a lot of different restaurants like Chick-fil-A's and places like that. And you can also see that right down here, this is Martha Jefferson Hospital, and the University of Virginia has a hospital as well. So not necessarily about food, but figure it was close there and bring it up. The final area that I want to talk about is right down here. There's a shopping center down here, and the name of that shopping center is called 5th Street Station. Fifth Street Station is a pretty newly built place. It has a Wegmans grocery store there, and it also has like a Dick's Sporting Goods. It has an outdoor type clothing and hiking store, and also it has several different restaurants that are there. So those are the areas of Charlottesville that you're going to find a lot of shopping in. That doesn't mean there's not other places in town. Certainly there is, and there's a lot of hidden spots here and there. But those are pretty much the major areas of shopping in the Charlottesville area. So maybe you're not looking for food or shopping, you want to go out and get a brew, and there's a lot of breweries in the Charlottesville area. As a matter of fact, there's something called the Charlottesville Ale Trail where you can go and about 15 different breweries and cideries and cider mills and distilleries, and you can sample the products that are there. A couple breweries that are kind of like one on the north side of town and one right in town, the Rockfish Brewing Company and Reason Beer. Just a couple really neat places for you to experience. So maybe you're not into breweries. Maybe you're looking for a winery. Well, the good news is just type in wineries, okay? And you're going to find 40 wineries within 30 minutes of the Charlottesville area. And a couple of those wineries that just west of town is one of them is the King Family Vineyard. And the cool thing about the King Family Vineyard is they play polo on some of the Sundays there during the summertime. Another one is the Septenary Winery at Seven Oaks Farm. Really nice little pool out behind it with a fountain in it. A fountain pool, not a swimming pool, but a fountain pool. And just go out there and enjoy wine, and you can enjoy some food there as well. And like I say, there's no shortage of wineries within about a half an hour of Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville, or in any town as far as entertainment goes. And I want to talk about what's available in like the world of theater and entertainment. And if you were to go right into the downtown mall here, you're going to find the 1912 Jefferson Theater. And a lot of concerts take place there, and a lot of musical events take place. Another one that you're going to find over at UVA. You're going to find a couple different theaters over here. And as a matter of fact, I'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. But they have the Virginia Theater Festival takes place there on the UVA campus. There's also the Live Performing Arts Theater. There's the Spectrum Theater. Like I say, there's many theaters in downtown and in downtown Charlottesville and in Charlottesville itself. As you can see, there's museum as well. There's the Fralin Museum of Art on the campus of UVA, and there's many different local artisans around the area. And so you have no shortage of fine arts in the Charlottesville area. When you talk about entertainment around the Charlottesville area, there's a lot of entertainment as well. I already mentioned Virginia. They have the Virginia Film Festival there. This is one of the most respected regional destination film festivals in all of the country, and that takes place every year. They also have the Foxfield races. It's actually in the spring and the fall. They have different horse races, and over 20,000 people come and attend the horse races that are here in Charlottesville. Lots of arts and crafts festivals, and of course there's races and fitness events all throughout the town, and of course as well as there's farmers markets all over the area as well. So just a really neat opportunity for a lot of events in the area. Of course, I already mentioned UVA. You've got ACC football and ACC basketball, as well as all of the other sports that go along with UVA. So plenty of entertainment in the Charlottesville area. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I would show you some census data and share that information with you. And so let's just take a look at that here real quick. And if we look at the census data, we've got the city of Charlottesville in the center column, and on the right is Albemarle County. So the city of Charlottesville, as you see, is about 46,000 people. So it's not a large city, but it does really give you an urban feel, especially in the heart of the downtown area. The county of Albemarle has about 113,000. So you put them together, it's about 160,000 people in the Albemarle County area, including Charlottesville. Here in Charlottesville, or excuse me, here in Virginia, we have what we call independent cities. So their population they have different government offices and government buildings, and their populations are considered separate. And so that's why you see them oftentimes separated as we're talking about things. One of the things about Charlottesville that is a little bit of a concern is the fact that while there's many beautiful houses and enough housing in Charlottesville, one of the things about Charlottesville is that the owner-occupied rate is only 41%. So there are a lot of rentals in Charlottesville and rented homes, and as you can see in the county, it goes up to about 2/3 of all the homes are owner-occupied. And then another thing that I just want to point out quickly here is the density when talking about Charlottesville. And Charlottesville per square mile has about 4,500 people per square mile. So not like in New York, but certainly more than some of the towns and cities that we've looked at, like in the Shenandoah Valley, for example. And that's about, in the county, you see about 156 people per square mile. And like I said earlier, it really does, when you're in the heart of downtown, it really does give you the real urban feel, especially in the downtown mall area. I mean, you're not having skyscrapers that are 30, 40, 50 feet, 30, 40, 50 stories tall, but there is definitely an urban feel in the downtown area. One of the other things, I want to go back to this real quick here. I told you I'd share with you a little bit more about the market report, and I'm going to go back here to our slideshow and moving on here. You can see that the cost of living in Charlottesville, it's pretty comparable to the rest of the United States on average. It is a little bit more expensive to live in Charlottesville, and as you can see, housing is one of the things that is I don't know quite a bit, but it is a considerably a little bit more than the rest of the country. And so that's something that is to take into consideration when you're looking for a house in Charlottesville. You're probably going to pay more than in other parts of the country. And as a matter of fact, we can do some cost of living comparisons here, and you can see the first box in the upper left. It's very comparable if you were living in Miami, Florida, with Disney World and Universal Studios, and so very comparable to living there. As a matter of fact, the housing in Charlottesville is just a little bit higher than it is on average in Orlando. If you were to live in Philadelphia, again, the housing you see there in the red box, it's about 1% lower than in Philadelphia. And Atlanta, Georgia, it's just a tiny bit lower than the average in Atlanta, Georgia as well. So kind of give you an idea. Now, if you're moving out of a big city like Chicago or Boston, LA, places like that, obviously it's going to be less expensive in Charlottesville, but this kind of give you an idea of some of the cities and your impression of what the cities are like, and kind of give you an idea of what they're comparable to. And here's some of the neighborhoods of Charlottesville, and you can see that the neighborhoods that we looked at, the third one on the top row, the Barracks Rugby neighborhood, the median listing was $874,000. The average sale in 2022 was $796,000 in this area. Another area that we looked at was the Greenbrier area. And we said the average sale in that area was between $400,000 and $600,000. And you can see the listing right now is a little bit higher. And these are just the ones that are listed right now at this particular time. So that number will vary a lot. But like I say, the houses sold in this area, most of them sold between $400,000 and $600,000 in this area. But that gives you an idea of some of the houses that are currently on the market and what they're being listed for at this time. So here we go. Here's kind of a comparison. Here's what you can kind of expect to see if you move to Charlottesville. The average home in Charlottesville in 2022 sold for $514,000. That's a 20 bedroom home sold for that. And you can see the mean price was lower than that, about $100,000 lower, which means there's more houses that sold that are lower than the $514,000 to bring that down. But the listing price in Charlottesville, you're looking at about $233 for a list for per square foot for a home in Charlottesville. Now compare that to one of the towns that we've talked about in the past, and that's Waynesboro, which is about 45 minutes west and over the mountain. Of course, if you work in Charlottesville, it's a 45-minute drive one way every day to get into Charlottesville, and you have the traffic of going up and over the mountain to get back home and to get into Charlottesville as well. So, but you can see the average home in Charlottesville sold for $282. The mean was $260, and you're looking at about $174 a square foot. So there is a difference where Waynesboro is below the national average. Charlottesville is above the national average. But again, look at all the amenities you have in Charlottesville as well. And all the conveniences, and there's more stores and more shopping certainly in Charlottesville than there is in a town like Waynesboro, Virginia. So I broke it down. I pulled up the comps for the past year and all the houses that were, not the comps, but all the houses that were sold for the past year in Charlottesville. And this is about what you could expect to pay on average if you were to purchase a house in Charlottesville with a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom. You say, well, wait a minute, 511. Well, that's just the 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms is what that 511 is. The other was 514 that you looked at on the previous slide. So, but like I say, that's the neighborhood, the ballpark that you're looking in if you're going to be living in the Charlottesville area. So another stat is the amount of homes that were sold, and there were 34 homes that were sold in Charlottesville in November as a snapshot, and you can see that 45% of them sold under the asking price, although probably not many of them were well below the asking price, and 55% of them sold at asking price or above the asking price. So it's still a very hot market in the Charlottesville area. Another thing here is the breakdown of homes, and the average home is selling in 21 days. And you can see that if your home is priced right, it's going to sell quickly in the Charlottesville area. Here's just another graph, and the thing I want us to look at here is about 3/4 of the way down the page. It says sale to list price ratio 99.29%. So pretty much whatever the person's listing their home for in Charlottesville, that's about what they're getting it for. This says that it's balanced, but it's toward the seller end. Let's go back to another report here in Charlottesville, and that is I'm just going to pull up here. Right now, you can see that there's 86 homes for sale in the Charlottesville area, and the average home price right now is about $637,000 in the Charlottesville area. Scroll on down here. That's about $317 a square foot. So the houses that are on the market right now, a little bit more expensive than what's the average sold house has been over the past year. Just want to scroll down here, and let's just take one of the houses that's well below the average that's on the market right now. I'll pull this up because it was in the Greenbrier area that we toured in our vlog area. And the Greenbrier area, this particular house is, as you can see, it's a ranch style home. It was built in 1957. It has 2,006 square feet, and it's on about a 1/4 acre lot. The price is about $450,000, and you can kind of just get an idea. I'll just kind of scoot through some of the pictures here to kind of see what you're getting. Very typical of the style of the homes that were built in this area in the 1950s. Nice marble inlaid fireplace there, along with some very nice wood floors. In the home, I like the insets, the covered insets that are there in the corner. Those are definitely something from that time period. Something that's kind of neat if you like that kind of thing. Again, a little bit about the bathroom, and it looks like there's been some upgrades that have been done in the home, and looks like other things are still is available for upgrade. It looks like we've got a granite type counter in the kitchen area, and we got some stainless steel appliances there as well. Maybe you like a checkered floor, maybe you don't, maybe you replace the floor, but just some different things here in the kitchen as well. There's another part of the kitchen there. And then we go to the outside of the property as well. Let me just jump back here real quick. There's the sink in the bathroom, just kind of give you an idea. You can see the new faucets. Some of it's been updated, like I say. We've got a nice sized basement downstairs with a washer and dryer, and plenty of room to store things down in your basement. A few outside photos here. Like I say, it's on about a 1/4 acre lot. A little bit of a backyard there to do some things, and nice little white picket fence there. And so just give you as an idea of what's kind of available in the market and in the Charlottesville area. And this is in the Greenbrier neighborhood. Well, I hope the information that I've given you today has been helpful if you're thinking about moving to the Charlottesville area. There's a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of a lot of shopping and a lot of restaurants and a lot of activity with UVA there and with theater and the arts and things like that. A lot of things to do in the Charlottesville area. The cost of the house, depending upon where you're coming from, may be a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower from where you're coming from. But there's a lot of history in the Charlottesville area as well, as I mentioned in the video. So, like I say, there's certainly more information to know about Charlottesville. But if you're looking to move to the Charlottesville area, whether it be in 9 days or 90 days, like I said at the beginning of the video, just give Leslie or I, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We want to help you understand the community that you're going to be moving to better so that you can make a wise decision in the house that you would purchase in the area. Leslie and I, we want no buyer's remorse. We want you to be happy with the house that you select for yourself, whether that's in Charlottesville or a town around Charlottesville or on the other side of the mountain, as we call it, over in Waynesboro or Stanton, Harrisonburg, one of the towns over there. So like I say, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. And until the next time, we'll see you around town.